Hello everybody and welcome back to, I was going to say Crusader Kings for some reason, I guess because it starts with the same letter. This is City Skylines, and that is to be expected. So what we're going to do here, of course, is continue to expand. Now, I did a little bit of calculation. I am recording this on, this is the 16th. This video will not go live until, I believe, the 18th? Actually, let me double check that here. This may be fake news. Nope, this is definitely the 18th that this goes live. Fantastic. So that means that it is no sooner than tomorrow, as of when I'm recording this, that I will be able to have seen your comments on what to do about this situation. Our choices are, of course, to leave it be kind of like this, reshape it, or simply to build it in the regular geometric circle. Those are the options, but it's going to be, let's see, I have to record 2 episodes of this today, and then 1 tomorrow before this goes live, based on my working ahead schedule that I'm doing for the next couple of days. It won't be too much longer. But yeah, that means that it's going to be 3 episodes of this, including this one. So we'll just ignore that for now, and we'll just proceed. So right now we don't seem to really need too much of anything. I want to check in on how our schools are doing. The answer is exactly okay. Our medical clinic hasn't treated anybody. Fantastic. That is good news. Now, as far as all this over here goes, we may look to bring that over at some point. That would probably be pretty expensive though, right? What would a 1-lane road over this way cost? Yeah, that's over 5K. I mean, at our current size, that's pretty expensive. We could definitely make it work. There's no doubt about that. And then, of course, we would want to build a curved road down here like this. In theory, anyway. I think that's correct, right? Down to here, I believe. This would come out to, I believe, here. Not quite, I think. Let's see. It would be like this, of course, and then we'd adjust the midpoint. That would actually be an interesting tool if you were able to build like that, and then instead of setting the midpoint like this, you set the 2 endpoints, and then you can drag the midpoint for the curve. That would be pretty neat, actually. No, we're not going to build a landfill site. We've got a recycling center. Excellent. Okay, so we are in need a little bit of residential zones. Of course, that's basically this half of this hub right now. So that is definitely something to think about. We don't really need additional industrial, and this is already zoned commercial over here, which we also don't really need additional of at this exact moment. What we could potentially use is a coal power plant. I don't want to build it, but I feel like we might have to for now. That would cost 19K. That is pretty expensive. There's no doubt about that. Maybe we should just go ahead and build this road in here while we are waiting on some demand. We have cash flowing in, so let's go ahead and do that, and let's ditch this connector road here, and then upgrade this road like so that this is only outflowing traffic. This is going to cause some weirdness with the cars that are going this way, for sure. We'll see what they decide to do about it. They're just turning around and leaving. Okay, fair enough. But that will now recalculate, and they'll just come on in over this way. That'll be fine. One thing I think I would like to do is make a one-way structure. And this should, of course, be like, I think right here is the position we want it to be, right? That's 400, so it should actually be here. Ah, that explains it. That explains why I was having some slightly strange issues. This, of course, should be going this direction. Wonderful. And that then means that we bring this down like this. And yes, that is more like what I was expecting to see. Fantastic. We'll go ahead and construct it. we're a little short on our electricity. This is not too awfully shocking. We can adjust some of our things here. I don't think changing this affects anything at this exact juncture. That said, our power needs are fluctuating right now, as is the wind speed. So this should be okay for now, but I think the next thing that we want to do is absolutely expand this quarter over here. And this is probably going to be the last expansion that we're going to do out here, at least for now. But we're going to want to expand this quarter because our residential demand is currently surging. Unfortunately, I don't think our power grid can handle that expansion at this exact moment. So what we're going to do instead is we are going to get ourselves some cash, maybe for another wind turbine. I mean, I want to put in a coal power plant that produces 40 megawatts compared to the 8 megawatts of a wind turbine, well, 0 to 8. This is just consistent power, and it would be very, very useful to us. There's no doubt about that. A mysterious cult leader is predicting the end of the world, again and again. Okay, that's not surprising. I mean, maybe we should just buy a wind turbine to get the quick fix on it, but I really think that we should go to a coal power plant if we can get away with it. Our electricity consumption is definitely going up. We don't have access to policies yet. We're getting close to that, actually. Actually, our population is very close to 800. Which tells me that what we should, in fact, be doing is we should be expanding this and pushing for that 800 population. So we'll move that out. Excellent. And this comes in right here, actually. And this would be a one-way and would come in... Let's see. I need to remember how to do this. Wait, I believe that we need to bring that out and bring this one out one block, right? Because we have to do the entire thing in one curve, pretty much. That's the best way I've found to handle this anyway. And then we bring that down straight in like this. That's 3,200. We will have the cash for that very shortly. Come on, Cash. You can do it. Very, very close now. Just waiting on that cash. And this is a very bad advertisement. Fantastic. So obviously we're going to have to actually... No, this direction is correct. I was going to say we need to flip the directionality of this, but no, this is exactly right. What we need to do next, of course, is we need to build a straight road out this way. And we will have that done momentarily here. Just waiting on a little bit more cash to come in. Come on, cash. I could go up to a different speed, I suppose. But why would I? No, I'm going to. We're just sitting here waiting. Okay, there we go. That did the trick. So... now we need to check our water out here. Water is actually quasi-acceptable. At least for these interior portions. So let's go ahead and zone ourselves some residential. This will create a power issue. We are aware of this. So we'll zone all of this. Fantastic. They'll start building on that very shortly. And that should push us up to 800 population, which will get us this milestone. It'll allow us to expand, get a more efficient loan, emergency services, and firehouse and police station. Okay, so we're definitely going to have to consider that. That's going to be a lot of cash that we need. And we're only going to get so much. So, right, there isn't a connection here, is there? Because this needs to be flipped around. There we go. Fantastic. So at this point, we're just kind of saving up cash and letting people move in. And then we'll put in the extra power plant up here. We need a more consistent power source right now. So that'll be fine. Excellent. So that gives us about 20k. That also allows us to go in and pay off this less efficient loan, which I'm going to do. And we're going to take this more efficient loan. You can see here, I mean, it's technically more interest, right? But the only number I care about here is the weekly cost. This is the most efficient in terms of weekly cost. So we'll take that. Excellent. And that gives us quite a bit of cash to work with. First things first, I'm going to put in a power plant right here, I think. Excellent. So with that power plant there, we can annex territory. We may annex this over here. I'm not sure. Actually, I haven't thought about what we want to annex next. I think that we can continue. If we annex this one, we can build this up another couple of circles and then start building another hub down here. That's an option. So there's our power situation sorted for now. And of course, we want to make sure that we have a fire department. We need to decide on like a standard number of these services per hub, right? And if we have another, well, how much can we actually fit in up here? Maybe 2 circles before we have to deal with this shoreline? Maybe. So yeah, I'm currently leaning towards having like 1 on each side of these services. Is the current thought. So that's all well and good. Our garbage and industry is all completely fine. Our healthcare should be reasonably okay. I think that we'll put a firehouse down over here. We are, in fact, going to need to bring out this road ASAP before things get built there. Wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. And of course, we haven't done all of the work on these outer areas just yet. One thing I wanted to think about, though, is I wanted to bring this up here. I am going to build this temporarily. Well, it's not a temporary thing. This will be a permanent build. But I want to bring this up here, and I want to see just how badly... Let's see here. Yeah, it should be this. Just how badly this ends up clipping in. That's actually probably fairly manageable. We'd have to relocate this road a little bit, or maybe just link it in up here and then split it off over here. I feel like that would be objectively awful. Of course, this road here is supposed to come in over like this approximately. Approximately. In reality, I would probably have it curve in something kind of like this. I mean, I kind of objectively hate this, but I'm waiting to see what you guys say before I make any final decisions on this area up here. So that is fine. That is absolutely fine. We do need to... I actually don't care about districts right now. We'll deal with districts later, but I actually do want to put in a firehouse possibly over here. I feel like this is a reasonable spot for one. Excellent. And then we should also definitely put in a police station somewhere, perhaps over here. Can we fit one in here? No. No, we cannot. I'm just looking for a place. This is actually a reasonable spot. We should maybe actually have these be centrally located now that I think about it. We could do that. We could have like a firehouse, a police house, if it's a residential area, a school and a medical clinic. If it's not, a garbage collection facility, something like that in this center area. I kind of like that. So we'd move this like here, and then we'd move the firehouse. Where did I put that? Right here? We'd move the firehouse, say, here. And the question is, how much coverage does that end up getting? That is a very good question. And then the school could, in theory, be moved down over here. I'm not sure I'm going to do this right now, but it could be moved over here. The medical clinic, perhaps, over here or something. Where is our medical clinic? Up here? Yeah, that could... Well, this is... That would fit. So the center area could be primarily dedicated to services. I'm still going to keep the coal power plant out here, because ultimately we're going to want to get rid of all this pollution if we can. But, yeah, that's a reasonable option, I feel like. We do have a fire over here. In theory, we should have fire trucks heading out there. Yes, indeed we do. Interesting spot to stop. But okay. And then they just drive right through. I like it. But yeah, they should be able to respond from this central location fairly quickly, and I think we can get pretty decent coverage even out to the furthest circle. So this would be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, if you want to count this as a circle, and then it would be like 5 circles. I kind of like this concept. So then this would, of course, come over here and connect in like that. So the core issue, of course, is we're starting to have reduced coverage out here, and we should definitely have a connection here. That would actually help increase that coverage pretty dramatically because of the way that the one-way system works. So yeah, I'm definitely liking this setup. I'm liking this setup a lot. We can maybe free up additional space in here if we need to as well. I think I am going to go ahead and move this school into the center. It was already basically in the center, but I'm going to do it. Excellent. So with that moved, the question now becomes, do we have any other services outside of the center right now other than garbage? Like, other than pollution-generating services? No. No, we don't. That's fantastic. I'm quite pleased with this, actually. I like this setup a lot. So we're, of course, going to have to work a bit on our intersections in here. So we want this intersection, we want these guys to yield. Up here, we want these guys to yield. When we come down here, we want this to be a yield. Like, these are essentially just giant traffic circles, right? That's the concept here. And then this is no yield, and there's nothing going on over here. I want to check in, actually, on these junctions up here. Did I do these? No, these are uncontrolled. Okay, so we yield when entering... Like, the right-of-way goes to the one-way roads, right? That's the way that this is set up. So it would be like that. This one is set up, and then this is just a whole bunch of nonsense up here. And then we have this over here, which would yield, and then this over here, which would yield. This down here would yield here, and then it looks like that's all set up for now, except perhaps here. Yes, this would have priority, and this would yield, in theory. This would also yield. Like that. Over here, this would yield. Wonderful. Over here, we would yield here. Excellent. We can barely see right now, thanks to the lighting, but it will, it'll improve soon. I believe we are currently in the very early morning hours, and it is extremely foggy. And that's fantastic. So, I do think that we do want to annex this area over here. That will allow us to create our full hub, as well as giving us control over a fair amount of this highway over here. Now, we're not going to touch the highway for a little while, for sure. You can definitely see where the industrial district is at this time of day, that's for sure. So we're definitely going to need to continue to expand this, and there's nothing keeping us constraining... Oh, this is not actually zoned. There's nothing keeping us constraining our residential to, like, this quadrant, right? We could switch this over here to residential, in theory. The reason I'm not currently doing this is because I do want to have a buffer zone between the residential and the industrial, which we can go ahead and make all of this industrial for now. There's not much industrial demand, but that'll be okay. So we should definitely think about our next circle, and I do want to kind of redo the way that our pipes are set up. Yeah, I want to rethink this. We've got the cash right now, so maybe we should just go ahead and rethink our pipe situation right now. Make this a little bit more sustainable and expandable and modular, I guess I would say. So we're just going to take all of these out temporarily. And we're going to redo this, because this was kind of done haphazardly, and I want a more modular system here. So we'll have this connect in, say, right here, so that we can go straight down the middle here, in theory. And then it would connect in, say, here. At which point it could go down the main hub roads, like this. Like that. Now it could also connect in over here, but we're going to run into some issues because I don't believe we can have... Oh, we can have a connection like this. Fascinating. Absolutely fascinating. So then we would run it down like that. For some reason, I was thinking that we were limited to 4-way intersections with water pipes, but nope, that's not the case at all. Okay, so at this point, we only start needing additional coverage once we get to this road here. There's still that little bit there that would not be covered, in theory. You can see there, but I think that would be okay. In theory. Of course, we're going to need a connector over here, and we could just connect this in, say, here like this, and have it come in like that, and then this can just connect in like that. And then we just essentially approximate this curve, and we just only expand it when we had to. So something like this instead. Actually, this is working perfectly. Now, we don't really have the expansion necessary up here. This would have to go up here, and we don't have road markers for where this is going to be. So, we should probably expand our roads up this way. We know that it connects in here. This should be a 2-way road. And we know that it goes this direction. So, actually, this is going to have to be flipped. Which makes that interesting. But let's go ahead and come in this direction. It should be here to here. That's the coal power plant causing us issues. Okay, I was hoping to prevent that. But it's just enough to cause us issues. Okay, so we'll move over to there, and we'll bring this down something like that. That'll work perfectly. So, of course, we're going to have to flip this direction, like so. That then means that there's no use for this road currently, but that will change. And we don't have a connection over here with our power lines. On a temporary basis, we can do something like that. That's not going to be the permanent setup, but it'll be okay for now. And that gives us our template to run our water pipe up here.
We want you to trust us with your money.
Right.
Because it's with your money that we can make you more
We're going to
money.
need a road
No,
here.
It's not funny business. It's money business.
Which, of course, makes this power line broken again. Okay, so we're just going to run it over like that for temporary instead. Okay, so there we go. And now we can extend this water pipe out to here, which allows us to put in a connection here and a connection here, but we don't have the money for it. So we'll just wait for a moment. We will have this money quite soon. And this is definitely a better design, I feel like. Why are we having a water issue over here? Ah, these two. Yeah, that would be the case. That would definitely be the case. So the center position here would be... Would be what? It would be coming out straight here. I'm going to just do this. It would be right here, approximately, would be the center position. Okay, so we'll call this the center position, and we'll connect this in here. Actually, I'm just going to bring this straight out, and what is the actual cost for a 1 block width, or length rather? 200. So we'll bring this out 200 to there, and then this would connect in over here. We're just waiting on cash right now, and that's completely fine. So we'll bring this up to here. There we go. And then this into here. And this is kind of turning into, what is this, an octagon? Yeah, this is an octagon of piping. I like it. Nice and geometric. Fantastic. So we're just waiting on another payment here to get water to this last household. There we go. Fantastic. Now, we are a little bit low on our residential demand, or rather high on our residential demand. We should definitely put in residential here. We can put in residential here and here. This residential up here may or may not stand, and that's going to have to be the case for another couple of episodes. It is, however, time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we're going to continue expanding our first hub. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and I will see you all next time.